Hello, I'm going to start doing a few videos. I'm going to call them Southwold News. From my perspective, being as I live in the town and it's quite a well-known town. Of what's happened in the last few days or weeks. Being this is the first one, I'll go back in time a little bit. I'll start with the Christmas light switch on. Yeah, that was packed. Not as spectacular as I expected it to be. I'm actually one of the dissenters who think Raiden do a better job than Southwold. But you know, the main lights in the square, the three Christmas trees, when they hit the switch, didn't actually come on, so they came on a bit later. And a little bit annoying to me was our vicar at St Edmund's Church. He had to bring politics into his speech. Not interested. You're a vicar. Talk about Christianity and Christmas. But apart from that, yeah, that was okay. We went, had a look around a few stalls, bought a few bits and pieces. Nice to see the stalls back in the high street for the switch on. Next bit of news, I suppose, has got to be the Potters Bridge saga is continuing. I did a video about this a few weeks ago. That's no different. We had the MP up here, the Labour MP, virtue signalling and with her wellies on and going on about how she's going to sort it. And the three things she mentioned are no different to what Cathy said. She's now going to end up in the Lords, to much everybody's disdain. But that's politics for you. I mean, if Sadiq Khan's going to get a knighthood, then Cathy's going to go in the Lords. There's nothing you can do about it. All right. I mean, they're both as bad as one another. Yeah, so two concrete capping pieces have collapsed on the North Pier prom north of the pier. Sorry, the material they used underneath has sort of got eroded somehow. How the hell the sea has got under there, I don't know. It's a bit worrying. That prom actually is the seawall that protects my house and a number of others from flooding, and was built just after the 1953 floods, which flooded half the town. And they built the seawall to protect that, and it's been maintained to a certain degree ever since, but I don't think properly. We've been saying things about this seawall for the last 10 years. Well, it's failed. The problem is you've got a lot of beach huts along there which have been lifted off for this winter, but they've got to go back on again in April. And to be fair, I think that's a much bigger job than they think. I think there's other cavities under the slabs. So I think the whole cap needs lifting off the whole prom between the seawall and the car park, and either concreted or made safe before being replaced. So yeah, so I think this is going to take months. So I think the season is probably a bit sort of knackered as far as the beach huts up that end are concerned. Bit of a shame if you just spent 80 grand or whatever they sell for, and all the rentals involved. And also, if they can't get the beach huts onto the seawall, then half the car park is gone. So that'll restrict parking, which will make fun in the summer. Another thing. Where I live, I overlook about 3 holiday lets, and I'm doing this on the Saturday before Christmas. And normally by now, this will be heaving around here. People come up for the whole Christmas week, and we've got none let. There's nobody in the holiday lets opposite me. Maybe they'll appear tomorrow or Monday, I don't know. But normally, the Friday before Christmas, when I come home from work, being as I work at Leiston and I come up the A12, I'm normally following the London traffic into Southwold. And nothing this year. I noticed that when I drove home from work Friday, there was hardly any cars about. So I don't know whether it's a sign of the economic times or what have you. There's a lot of houses up for sale in town, but then again, that doesn't mean anything because they're snapped up pretty quickly. So there's still some people out there with money. So it's not like they're sitting there for a long time without being sold. Any other bits of news? No, not really. Fishing is really good off the pier at the moment. The beaches are fishing really well. It's an absolutely whiting city, but there are a few good dogs, smooth hounds, a few flatties and various other bits and pieces coming off there. So yeah, a bit expensive to fish off the pier now. Unless you can warrant fishing off it every week, I wouldn't bother with the thing because you can catch just as much off the beach anyway. especially down towards the south, just south of the pier, heading down that way. There's good fishing down there. So yeah, the fishing isn't too bad. It's we had a load more shops open up in town. Well, one or two more, but they're normal things. They're very expensive. You always know a shop is expensive when you walk in and there's hardly any stock. There's like masses of space and there's like a little plinth with 3 handbags on. Then you look at the price of the handbags and it's like 500 quid. And then you just turn around and go out the door. I mean, I'm not paying a half a month's salary on one handbag. Thank you very much. So yeah, so to be fair, weekends and round when we had the Christmas light switch on, there were quite a few people in there. But since then, I've been down there during the week and there hasn't been anybody sitting in the shop at all. I mean, because the people who go down there during the week are just normal people who live in the town and they won't be buying stuff like that. So, but we do have a big turnaround of shops in this place. They normally start up in the spring or winter, do a good season. Then they start pushing their prices up. Hit the winter, wonder why nobody's buying anything. Come the spring, they'll just about survive to a second season, and then normally they're gone. 1 or 2 seasons. There's several have done that lately, so we'll see how long this one lasts. Yeah, that's about it, really. I mean, it looks like the May elections aren't going to go ahead because the Labour have decided to alter the conditions and the boundaries. That seems to be could be looked at as electoral interference in my view, because at the end of the day the timing is stinks basically. You know, when your ratings are rock bottom and you know, it's obviously going to get a pasting. If the Conservatives had done this, Labour would have been thrown an absolute hissy fit. So you know, I'm hoping this isn't going to go ahead. Rupert Lowe, who's the Great Yarmouth, the only decent MP around here, who's at Great Yarmouth, has been really kicking off about this and about the nitrate dumping out off the coast of this. Nobody's mentioned it here, but outside Great Yarmouth, they just dumped 300 tonnes of nitrate fertiliser into the sea. Now, all that's going to do is turn the sea green, cut down the light going into the sea, and that can affect the ecology of it. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with that one. But I notice around here, nobody's mentioned that. You know, all the virtue signallers around here, they're all worry-gutting about a bloody cable that's been rung in for the North Sea, which ain't going to affect anybody, because they'll just dig a hole, stick it in, and cover it up again. Yet they haven't mentioned the one thing that's could really affect this coast, you know. But we'll see. We'll see. They know who they are, if they're watching this video. So, but they're more interested in getting Costa removed from the town, which I'll never ever forgive them for. You know, because some of us actually like going to Costa, believe it or not. So, yeah, okay, that's about it for me then. That's my little update. And I might try and do one of these a week or one every 2 weeks and just have a bit of a roundup what the town's like at the moment. Oh, yeah, shops. Down the seafront, the bowling green is open for teas, weekends, definitely. Boating Lake seems to have been open this morning, which is unusual. Normally in the winter they're shut, but they were open this morning. I'm pretty sure Susie's is open further up the thing, and I would have thought that Gun Hill will be open for teas as well, Gun Hill tea rooms, and the normal ones in the town. Watch out, they've been putting their prices up. I mean, 1 or 2 of the ones which were cheaper are now sort of charging upwards of £4 for a coffee. So be careful. Read your price list before you go into some of these places, because they are jacking their prices up big time at the moment, and it's ridiculous. The pier was okay last time I went in there, yeah, price-wise, but the Clock House is the best, where it is all right for coffee there, but that's open today as well. The pier was all open, so yeah. But there was nobody about, so whether they'll bother after Christmas to stay open weekends in the winter or whenever, I don't know. Okay then, and have a good Christmas everybody if I don't speak to you before, and hopefully this weather will improve a little bit and stop being overcast. At least the days are changed now, so the nights are going to draw out. But because of the curvature of the earth, it's going to be very slow to start with, just a few seconds every day or half a minute a day or whatever it is. But gradually, as we get past February into March, then that'll suddenly start roaring out then. So we've only got a couple more months. But I'm off to Fuerteventura for a week in January, so to escape the crap weather, and I go again in March, I think, middle of March, so to Lanzarote, to our Puerto Carmen, best place in the world, that is. If I ever won the lottery, that's where I'd live. Right, okay then, so speak to you later.